All right, what is happening? I am getting ready. Oh my goodness, to go make another trip. So this one's a little bit different than the other ones that I've done, and I'm really happy with this one. So the first time that I went up to Wave was for orientation. So you go up there, you do your thing, you hope you get a trip. So, still hoping. The next time that I went up there, I had to get some things inspected so more of the board could open up to me. Hoping I get trips while I'm up there. Nothing was guaranteed those two first times that I went up. And I was listening to everyone that, was still hanging around and everything that was going on. I knew that wasn't going to be like the normal case. There are people, though, that do go up there. They do this full time. They stay up there. They use the weekend as their reset, and then they're grabbing loads as soon as possible. So I totally get people that do that. But my case is a little different right now. Well, and even in the future, whenever we get there. That I have a job right now. So I have an 8 to 5 everyday normal job. So whenever I get off or whenever I go make runs, I have to get permission from them to get off. So I just can't see something on the low board, call into my dispatcher and have it dispatch and then leave that day. I need to work it out with my current job that I have there now. What happened this time was I knew the time that I was going to be able to get off from work and when I was going to be able to make another trip. So I was like, but I really want to know for sure that I'm getting a load because it is a little scarce. The low bore is it's pretty dead, to be quite honest. But I do understand that this is their low period. This is their slow period. They close out the 25s and then they revamp for the 26s. Philadelphia just got done with, or not Philadelphia. Wow, that was my Garmin that just fell out. Okay. Fix that here in a minute. Pennsylvania just got done with their big 26 release. Goshen or Elkhart is getting ready to do their big release next week. So not the week that I'm going to go work. So the 26s haven't fully started up as far as doing a mad rush or a mad dash to the dealerships yet. So, needless to say, the way it's worked for me so far, and it's worked very well. Whenever I know that I'm going to have time or that I'm going to head up there to get a load or that I want a load, I call into my dispatcher. I email my dispatcher. I said, hey, this is my plans. This is what I would like to do. Help me out as much as possible. So I did that, and she called me on Thursday, and she said, hey, kind of walk me through, really what you're looking for, so whenever they become available, I can save one for you, and I can get you one. I was like, that's awesome. Okay, so this is what I want. I would like to go west. I want to get a feel for the West. I've been east, and of course I've been towards Texas and Colorado, but I want to head west. And I was really hoping to get 2 loads to finish out my 5. So my 5 loads that you have to do for Wave as a trial period, I wanted to get those out of the way. I've already done the 3 states, so it doesn't matter where it goes. It's just I need 2 more loads this week. So whenever I start full time, everything's open. Doesn't matter where I want to go, what I want to do. I get to pick and choose. So she calls me and says, hey, I got this. And I was like, oh, man, that is so far out of the way. Do you have anything that's a little shorter? She was like, I got you one. So I'm going up to Goshen this time knowing I have a load, which puts my mind at peace because now I know that I'm going to make some money. Even if I just do that load and come back, I'm still going to make some money. I would really love to do this load, and I'll tell you more about this load whenever I pick it up. and then do like I did last time and get one coming to Texas. Thereabouts, anywhere close will work. So this one's going to be a little different because I already know that there's a load waiting on me. I'm going to pick it up Sunday night. We're going to roll out with it, and I'll tell you all the plans as far as that goes. But I'm out here in my main place where I fuel up, I get everything done, I'm ready to head out. And I'm sitting in Buc-ee's parking lot right now, which is a little different from where I normally do it, because usually I'm in some type of rest stop, or I'm at some type of truck stop. But this Buc-ee's was on the way to my fuel station, and I stopped. And you don't know how tempting I am just to go in there and spend like $80 on snacks and drinks and merchandise. I mean, Buc-ee's got it all. But I've been disciplined. I'm about to have my salad that my wonderful wife made. Go down the road just a little bit. I wish they were right next to each other, because then it would be really amazing for us, for the truck drivers and stuff to get fuel and then come to Buc-ee's and, taste all the good food that's here. So I'm going to have my wonderful salad that I keep making a mess with, apparently. Go get some fuel and then hit the road. Get to my dinner reservations and then head out from there. So, it's hot in this truck without the truck running. I gotta fix my GPS. Let's get going.
We're the Essary family, and we're exploring America, one destination at a time.
Some things that have changed this time is I got a travel buddy. I gotta go get him. I got a travel buddy this time. This here's Chuck. He's an Ewok off of Star Wars. And if anyone has paid attention to our podcast, we talk about Chuck, specifically about Chuck. So I'm happy that he is on board with me. So he's going to be going with me everywhere we go. You might be seeing him some of the other videos that I do. He's going to become like a little mascot over here with Darth Hall. So keeping with the Star Wars theme. What else? Oh, my wife made me a list this time for all my food. So now I know what goes with what, and like kind of like what I have. So I can kind of plan out, hey, I'm going to have a lot of downtime, or, I'm going to have a lot of time in the evening. I can cook all my meals, or I'm going to be at certain areas. So that's really nice. And now I know what's inside the ice box instead of having to go through there and rummage through everything. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, so this is trip 4. We've already covered 1, 2, and 3. This is trip 4, and I'm hoping to get 5. So that'll be the 5 that I need for Wave. Wave requires 3 different states, so you can self-dispatch. Whenever you first start on, they require 5 trips. It doesn't matter what they are, as long as you're delivering, as kind of a trial run, just a little way for them to kind of get you comfortable with the whole process and everything. So they require 5 of those. I'm really hoping I get these 5 out of the way. That way, in the really near future, whenever I start doing this full time, I'll be able to pick up any load. More of the board will be open to me whenever I'm not doing, or actually I'll be done with the whole 8 and 5 here in like a few weeks. At that point, then it turns into I can pick up loads when I want, where I want. I just got to be mindful of like where they're at, deadhead, coming back, or traveling, just wherever we're going to be, making sure my family is moving around, make sure we're getting to our destinations, making sure we have plenty of time. So there's still a lot of juggling that I'm gonna have to get used to before the year end. I got to get used to the North Winters, which will be an experience for me. Y'all will live through all of that with me. And I just thought that was my wife, because we also have a car that looks really similar to one that just pulled up, and I was like, she shouldn't be this far north. Anyways, so I'm gonna stop, eat some dinner, and then I am headed on for a couple more hours before I have to stop for the night. because I really need to get to Indianapolis or Indiana as soon as possible. So this is really nice. I think I'm in, yeah, it says keep Arkansas clean and green. So I'm in Arkansas, so it's a nice place. Well kept. Nice Arkansas, nice. So we're here at one of Wave's locations, to a new yard that I haven't even been to. But what I really want to show y'all, and kind of the extra footage this time than I haven't done, and I may or may not do again, is whenever you go to hook up, whenever you get in the yard, kind of what are the steps that you have to go through. Like, you know, we're talking about pictures, we're making sure that your truck is equipped correctly, we're making sure everything's hooked up, checking out the unit back here. So that's what I plan on doing today. And I just want to show y'all just a few things that is going to kind of take place. So before we kind of get this all started off, is I do want to show you, you know, I don't have anything on. So I don't have the hitch, I don't have the rock bar, mud flaps, full mud flaps on, nothing like that. So I haven't done anything. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna give you a time lapse of kind of what all I go through whenever I hook up. Now there might be other people out there that are like, oh, you know, you can save yourself a couple minutes by doing this, or, you know, you save a couple time. So let me flip this around and kind of show you like the very first thing you do whenever you start getting into a yard. So one of the first things that you want to do whenever you come to a yard is on your dispatch paperwork, it's going to tell you what row your camper or your unit is at, and it's going to give you a unit number. And then there's a really long VIN number that goes along with it. And this is good information for anyone who wants to hook up an RV, not just necessarily just looking for a particular unit inside of a yard. So you come up, you find the row, usually it's some type of cone, or let me see if I can't show you. You can see kind of at the end of the Forest River fifth wheel on this side, you see the cone that's kind of sticking up. It's either that or it's actually a traffic cone, you know, something that's going to be orange that you can see at night, even if the guys come in and try to get something there. That's where the number is going to be located. So found my number, found my row, and then always like driving through to make sure I have the right unit. So I find my unit number, which for anyone, I believe this is how they're set up across the board, but specifically for Wave, this is how it is. You're going to have your unit number right here. It's going to be on the right hand somewhere, so whenever you're driving through, you can see it's going to have the last 6 digits. That way you know what you're looking for. Sorry, I don't know if you got that or not. The last 6 digits, that's kind of what you're looking for. So I come through, and then I always like to mark mine, because I would hate to think that I pulled up to the right one and then be like, oh yeah, this one's mine, and then adjust my truck and it's not the one that I'm supposed to take. So I always like marking mine. I got my little Iron Man cup. It's empty right now. It'll be full by the end of the week. My Iron Man cup, I just set it on top. I know this is my unit. Everything, you know, if I go to the truck and want to grab something and come out, I know that I need to come back to this unit. So the other thing that I do for sure, I do 2 other things whenever I find my unit. I stop, kill the truck. I'm getting ready to kind of do a general check on this before I really start put some time and investment into getting ready. Always come and I check the VIN on every camper, every fifth wheel, bumper pull, anything like that. You're going to have numbers. You're going to have this little part right here that's going to tell you the date it's made, the manufacturer. It's going to have tire sizes, but the most important one is it's going to have a VIN number. It's a really long number, just like your car. It'll have the VIN number, so check it out. Make sure that that matches up to the unit number. I haven't heard too many horror stories that those were wrong, but accidents happen. So always double check, make sure you have the right unit The next thing I do that is probably the most important to me is, before I spend time and effort to hook up to an RV, I do a general walk around of the unit, and I'm checking for scratches, dents, broken things on the outside that I may be accused of if it gets to the dealership of doing something wrong. So there'll be more on this a little later in the video, but I'm making sure that everything looks good. The awning's on. I don't have broken windows, broken doors. My tires look good. This little thing right here, the jacks, make sure that those aren't twisted and messed up, because sometimes people they kind of miss those. But I'll give a true detailed walkthrough a little bit later. But that's just kind of what I'm looking at. I'm like, hey, okay, so this unit looks good, looks clean. As clean as can be. I mean, it's not a perfect. It's sitting on a dusty yard, so everyone that's driven through here in the last, week or so, it's gotten a little bit of dust. Oh, I thought I saw something on the tires that I didn't like. Okay, so unit looks good. I don't see any major scratches or cracks or everything. So now I'm going to hook up my truck. I'm gonna get everything done. I'm gonna get all the bells and whistles put on, and I'll give you a time lapse of that. But someone did have it in the comments of a previous video, hey, what kind of system do you have? So let me pull out my system real quick as far as the sway bars, and just kind of show y'all that before we do the time lapse. All right, so real quick, I have the, don't know if you can see it or not, but right here is E2. It's the E2 style weight distribution hitch with the bars. So, and it has the solid bars on each side. So kind of how this all works is the cut in, the shaved off side, fits into the grooves that are right here, and then this rotates in, this comes down, and now it's locked in. So that's how it works. And then of course the other end gets put on the trailer itself. So this end right here has another bar. I guess I could get that out. It has this mechanism right here. So this goes on the inside of the trailer hitch. This goes on the outside. It bolts on, and then it has this system that this just sits down in. So this kind of goes just like this. I mean, on the right way, of course, but that's kind of what it is. And so it helps with the swaying back and forth, helps with the weight distribution. So instead of getting the chains, which are totally okay, you absolutely have the chains. So instead of getting the chains, I had the sway bars lying around from an old system or from an older RV. And so that's the one that I use. So besides getting this thing out, I haven't done anything else. I haven't put batteries on. I haven't put the hitch in, of course. Nothing else. So I'm going to give you a time lapse of kind of what it's going to take a little bit longer this time. If I was doing a fifth wheel, my fifth wheel's already in. So I put the full mud flaps on, connect, and I'm ready to roll. Doing a bumper pull, I do not leave my hitch on 24/7. So I may in the future leave it on full time, but as of right now, I keep everything inside of a locked area. So let me get you off to the side. We'll get a time lapse going, and we'll just see kind of how long it takes for me to not only put this system on, but to get everything fully hooked up and ready. And then I will show you the next step of whenever you're in the yard. So let's hook up and pull the RV out, and then we can get ready for the next step. All right. So there you have it. That was a whole hookup in order to get connected to the unit. So you can see that I put my Rockstar mud flaps all the way across the back. Super simple. Got my hitch in, got everything connected, got my battery in, got it tied down so that doesn't things slide around and fall out on me. And the next thing that I'm going to do, the last thing that you saw me do on the time lapse that I had to move the camera for is, it's not that I forgot it, I just wanted to pull out where I didn't have to take the camera all the way around, but you got to put your transport plates on. So those are huge, big key factors in order to hook up to a bumper pull unit. Fifth wheel is a little bit easier. You don't have to go through the whole hitch and sway bars or chains or anything like that. So the next thing that they require you to do before you even leave the yard, I would do it before I leave the yard, because if you ever have to put it back and you're already out whenever you do this next step, you can't get back in. Your gate code is only good for 2 times. Once those 2 times are done, you're done until they issue another one. So next thing that they want you to do, and I totally understand this also covers you, so it's very important that you do this, but you got to take pictures of the outside unit. That way whenever it gets to the destination and they're like, oh, where did this scratch come from, or how come this glass is broke, if you have pre-trip pictures, then they can back you up going, no, hey, it was already damaged like that, this is how it came. And then at the very end, of course, you're going to take post-trip pictures. There's a lot of P's in there. Post-trip pictures that are just going to solidify that you did what you were supposed to do. You transported the unit in good working condition and you got it there in good working condition. So kind of to break this down just a little bit, we'll just work this side right here, is you need to take a lot of pictures. That's just the simple part, a lot of pictures. Easiest way of doing this is finding like the halfway point, which right there is that where that light is, and go all the way across. So now it's divided into 2. You got a top, you got a bottom. If it's big, this one is a 25 footer, so it's not that big. If it was 32, something like that, I would probably break this down into 3. So they ask you to cut it into thirds. So probably, to where the Coleman, where that seam is, will probably be one side, and then I'll probably take a back half picture. If I was doing it in thirds, I'd probably get the Coleman side and not the window, and then get the Coleman side window and the slide out window. And then on my third picture, I would get the slide out window in the back half. So that's just kind of how I break it down. You do have to take pictures above or on top and bottom. You do not have to climb on the ceiling at any point in time. That is not in your scope of work. So if they have any kind of roof issues after it gets there, that's between them and the manufacturer. It has nothing to do with you. So I'm going to do my pre-trip inspection paperwork, everything that goes along with it, get ready for this thing to haul out. Little tidbit, little bit more information about this is, if you're going to take a top picture, kind of get it high. If you're going to take a bottom picture, kind of get it down. You don't have to like kneel all the way down here to the ground. I'm not saying that, but get it where you can see. Like I said, the jacks are pretty important. If those things are messed up, they'll get you for it. If you take it off the yard, they're going to get you for it. Another thing that I do is, you see the clean outs or the dump pipes. I will not leave them dangling. Now, I will not put them on and cap them, but I will flip them over. That way they're not just dangling there on the ground. And then, of course, last but not least, I will definitely check the tire pressure to make sure they have the proper air, and to make sure that their lug nuts are tight enough. I've heard horror stories of wheels coming off, so I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be a part of that horror story. So far my first 3 trips have been pretty successful, and I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that I keep succeeding with that. So this is kind of what I was talking about. I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna flip them over. I'm gonna put them sometime on this side, that way whenever they do bounce around, they're over here, or just so they're not just dangling way down there. These are good. Has all the little stuff for you. I did see that and I was kind of intrigued about that, but that's actually how it's supposed to be. So, okay. Now to get the keys, paperwork, and take some pictures. Let's get this unit moving. Oh yeah, and the weather's nice out here today. Low 80s, I think is what it said. Yeah, beautiful. So, all right, let's go. All right, let's see. This is morning number 2. Morning number 2. I am at an Oasis. So in one of our podcasts, we talk about rest stops, travel centers, visitor centers. Man, what was that other one? Truck stops, or travel plazas. So in Illinois, they call them Oasis. It's a travel plaza is what it is. Just got finished walking through inside theirs. All right, let me see if I can. See if I can swing you around. I mean, look at that sucker. Isn't that nice? That is huge. And this is one that it's on both sides. Let me pull over. It's on both sides, so you can stop on both sides, and then they pretty much built it over the highway, the interstate. So hats off to Illinois for making that happen. That's pretty impressive. And this one, there is a Panda, McDonald's, a pizza joint, some type of ice cream place. There's a Subway, and I believe there's a Starbucks in this one. And of course, both sides have bathrooms. So, and there's a travel information place. So I mean, this is, as far as staying over the night, you can't mess with this. This is pretty nice. McDonald's, as far as I know, I didn't stay up too late last night, but I think the McDonald's is the only one that's a 24-hour store. The rest of them are all, they all have their business hours. Doing something that I've never done before. Checking off a new state. I am traveling the entire width, pretty much, of South Dakota. So I'm going to enter on Wisconsin side, and I'm going to go all the way through to my drop-off point. And I'm going to go step by step at the drop-off, kind of what you have to do, all that kind of other stuff. Here in a little bit, they don't open up till 9, so I have to wait till 9 o'clock before I can call and let them know that I'll be there tomorrow. But oh yeah, the main reason I wanted to get to this Oasis last night is because, number one, time, and number two, I was gonna have to go through Chicago. Now, I've heard some really bad things about Chicago. You don't want to go through Chicago. Find another way around. If you go through Chicago, go through it at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, I don't want to travel at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I came through on a Sunday night about 8-ish. is kind of when I came through, and it wasn't too bad. There wasn't a whole stop and go traffic. It was pretty smooth. Everything kept on moving. But I mean, I can understand what people were talking about, because Chicago, y'all got a lot of people. Needless to say, made it through without any kind of hiccups. But I got to this oasis. I'm gonna go to my gas station, and then I'm gonna stop again in South Dakota, just because to be on the safe side. Fill up again, go drop off, come back to the same gas station, fill up again, and then we'll go from there. So we'll go way too early. I got way too much time on my hands right now. Things working out. Oh, about the Oasis and all the plazas as well. This is another just little, for all the truck drivers or the transporters, anyone that's going to be hauling any kind of trailer that you need a lengthy parking space. They're limited. You ain't got a whole lot. Now, the visitor centers, there's tons. A lot of your rest stops, sometimes they don't have quite as many. So, but your oasis and your plazas, they have about 15 to 20, and that's it, and they're done. So just be prepared. If, like I was last night, you're looking to stop for an overnight and you're one of the last ones to arrive, they're probably not going to have a spot for you. I ended up parking in the parking lot as far away as I possibly could. Took up as little space as I possibly could. And you see the sign behind me where it says 2 hours. 10 hours later, I'm still here. So they let me sleep tonight. I appreciate that. I did not want to have to get up and move at 2 o'clock in the morning. So what else am I going to do this morning? All right, here I am in South Dakota, dropping off the unit. Told you I'd kind of walk you through the process of what it kind of takes for Wave whenever you transport, kind of the exit process. So number one, you got to take pictures of the unit just like I did on the first time. Split it up, make sure you get good detailed information. That way, if anything happens on the trip, they can note it, and then whenever you drop it off and leave, if they ever come back and say anything, then you have pictures, you have proof, covering yourself. Kind of special things that you have to do during the drop-off period is you got to leave the battery hooked up. You got to leave it hooked up so they can do the slides, so they can check all their stuff. Nothing on you, but just something that you have to do. So our wonderful person is walking out right now to do us a post-trip inspection. So I'm gonna let her do her thing. I'm gonna finish getting everything out of here and then hit back on the road. All right, so I am here at Camping World. I'm at the drop-off spot. Just got undone. Just actually went through the fastest inspection I've ever seen. I drove up, they met me at the door, which was really cool, unexpectedly. Directed me real easy where to drop off. But I want to show you, so I took a fifth wheel this time. Me and Darth Hall, we made it back to Texas. We took a fifth wheel. I want to show you some of the things that I'm encountering that you might want to be aware of. So number one is, so mine is, the Voyager is a 42 footer. So it's got a really long cab. So it's way longer than what this area is. And with the fifth wheel and with my new hitch, I'm running into some tailgate issues. So the issue that I'm having, as you can tell right now, I have plenty of space where my tailgate is. But if I was to back up and actually hook up the fifth wheel part to the hitch, I'm actually going to hit the trailer. So I have to do this little fun thing of, I got to pull it in just enough, and then I got to shut the tailgate, and now I can back up without having to worry about hitting. So that is something that I'm running into. I was trying to get out of the guy's way. That's why I kind of unhooked everything. But another issue, especially with this one, if I was to open it up, let me get over here on this side. If I was to open it up, you can see how much room I have now. But this was actually hitting here because I didn't have enough room. So it is something that I have to be careful about. So far that I've seen, I've only taken like little, I don't want to say little ones, I mean, because 32 foot is still a good size RV, but I've taken 32 and a 33. And so maybe if I get to the 37s, the 40s, maybe I won't have that issue because it'll have a bigger tongue. But that's kind of where I am. Super easy process. You go up, you have paperwork, you have keys, you give them the paperwork, you give them the keys. They come out and meet you, or this guy was already here, so I literally stepped out the truck and handed it to him, which was really nice. But usually you have to watch them. Not really watch them, I mean, they know what they're doing, it's their job. But just go through and just they check everything on the outside, check everything on the inside. It's that time to do the inspection for if anything's wrong or if anything's messed up, then that's when they have to get it for all of their other stuff. So I'm going to get the rest of my stuff off of here. I'm going to get unplugged. I'm going to get my battery, going to get my license plate. We're going to let the tailgate down again because I definitely don't want to take off like this, and swing back around, pick up my paperwork, fill out some other forms that I have to do for Wave, and yeah, call it a good trip. Head back, get some fuel before I start heading that direction. It's way cheaper here than at home, so that's definitely going to happen. And get ready to get on the next one. And I'm ready to get home. That's all I got to say. I'm ready to get home. My wife's already told me what's on the menu for tonight, so I need to get home before dinner. So, yeah, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.